Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Manchester United: The Endless Rebuild. Today's feature presentation, Alejandro Garnacho and the Case of the Missing Goals. Picture this: February 16th, 2025, Tottenham versus Manchester United, Garnacho in prime position, goal at his mercy, and boom, he misses. Somewhere an entire stadium groans. Bruno Fernandes questions his life choices, and Ruben Amorim starts contemplating retirement after just a few months on the job. Manchester United fans are in shambles. Is Garnacho just in a rough patch, or is he secretly on a personal mission to keep opposing goalkeepers employed? Let's break it all down. 1. The Tottenham miss, a moment in horror cinema. So, let's set the scene. 23rd minute. Bruno Fernandes threads a perfect ball. Garnacho's there, primed to strike. The ball comes to him, and then, disaster. He fluffs it. It's the footballing equivalent of fumbling your lines in a school play while the entire audience watches in horror. And the XG on that chance? 0.15. Now, I know that number sounds small, but in layman's terms it means you really should be scoring that. Instead, the ball ended up somewhere in North London, probably in someone's backyard. Ruben Amorim's face after that miss looked like a man who just realized he left the stove on at home. Or worse, like someone who just saw their Uber Eats driver cancel the order after waiting an hour. This miss was so bad even Marcus Rashford probably sighed in relief like, finally someone else takes the heat for once. It was one of those misses where even the FIFA video game commentary would hit you with the, "That was a glorious chance, and he's put it wide." Guglielmo Vicario didn't even celebrate. He just looked at Garnacho like, "Bro, you serious?" After looking at Garnacho, Guglielmo Vicario was probably whispering, "Thank you, brother," under his breath. That XG stat? It basically means Garnacho had a better chance of scoring than I have of sticking to a New Year's resolution, and I've given up on those since 2019. Somewhere in the stands, a United fan sighed so deeply that his breath single-handedly caused wind turbulence in Manchester. If you listen closely, you can still hear the echoes of Robin van Persie whispering, "That's not how you do it, kid." United legends were probably watching this in disbelief. Somewhere, Ruud van Nistelrooy just shook his head and turned off his TV. You know it's bad when even Anthony Martial is sitting there thinking, "Phew, that's not me this time." This was the kind of chance that strikers dream of. Garnacho treated it like a horror movie jump scare and panicked. Van Persie would have buried that chance blindfolded, one leg tied behind his back while reciting the club's entire history. United fans had already started celebrating in their heads. The problem? So had Garnacho, before actually putting the ball in the net. Imagine if he actually scored. United fans would have convinced themselves they were back again. It's a cycle at this point. The net was right there, begging for the ball. Garnacho looked at it and said, "Nah, I got other plans." I swear in the replay you can actually see Bruno Fernandes go through all 5 stages of grief in the span of 3 seconds. 2. Fan reactions. A social media war zone. As expected, the internet exploded. Half of Manchester United fans were calling for Garnacho's immediate exile, while the other half were defending him like he's the last hope of the Jedi Order. Team, bench him forever. One fan on X wrote, "Garnacho has to pass there. He's got open teammates, but he shoots from a tight angle and wastes it. Same story every game." Honestly, at this point, Garnacho's decision-making in the box is like a bad horror movie. You know something terrible is about to happen, but you just can't look away. Then there's the comparison to Amad Diallo. Amad looks sharper and more decisive. Garnacho needs to be benched until he learns to finish. Ah yes, the classic bench him until he magically improves strategy. Iconic. It's funny how every missed chance leads to "sell him now" tweets, as if United just has a conveyor belt of world-class wingers waiting in line. Manchester United fans switch opinions faster than Garnacho changes hairstyles. One week, he's the future. The next, he's a fraud who needs to be sold to Getafe. Imagine going from next Cristiano Ronaldo to ship him to the championship in the space of 90 minutes. United Twitter moves faster than the stock market. Some fans are treating Garnacho's finishing like a pandemic-level crisis. Next thing you know, we'll have government-issued emergency alerts. Warning, another shot blazed over the bar. Stay indoors. Team, he's just a kid. Chill. On the other side, Garnacho's defenders are fighting the good fight, arguing that he's 20, still learning, and actually doing something in a team that barely functions. One fan wrote, "He's getting chances because he's making great runs. The finishing will come with experience." Translation: "We hope he stops missing before my stress levels cause permanent damage." Another supporter pointed out, "The whole team is misfiring, but Garnacho is the only one getting hammered for it." He's one of our brightest sparks. To be fair, when your club is 15th in the league, the bar is basically underground. United fans arguing over Garnacho is like two people fighting over the last slice of a pizza that's already cold and disappointing. He's 20. He's inconsistent. That's basically the job description for young wingers. The real debate isn't about Garnacho's finishing, it's about whether we should blame him or the entire club's transfer policy. Patience is a virtue, but have you ever tried telling that to a football fan? 3. The sell him conspiracy. The summer transfer saga begins. As if this wasn't chaotic enough, reports are now surfacing that Manchester United might sell Garnacho in the summer to fund new signings. Because if there's one thing United fans love, it's the idea of selling a promising young player so he can go win the Ballon d'Or at Barcelona. The rumor mill says the club wants to bring in Alejandro Balde. Nothing screams good decision-making like replacing one underperforming youngster with another and hoping for a different outcome. Selling Garnacho now is like selling Bitcoin in 2011 because it wasn't performing well enough. In 5 years, people will be posting, "We really let him go for 40 million tweets while he's bagging goals for fun in Spain." If United sells him, you just know the headline in 2028 will be, "Alejandro Garnacho wins Champions League with Barcelona while United continues their 14th consecutive rebuild." United fans are torn. Half of them want him sold. The other half have PTSD from watching us sell talented youngsters just to watch them thrive somewhere else. This club has a history of making genius transfer decisions like keeping Phil Jones for a decade, but selling talented players the moment they have a dry spell. Selling young players too early is basically a United tradition at this point. We should put nurturing talent for other clubs on our badge. If Garnacho ends up at Barcelona, expect the inevitable, "Player we rejected is now world-class" articles to hit your feed within 6 months. The second he signs for Barca, he'll be dropping 20 goals a season and hitting Ronaldinho-style celebrations at the Camp Nou. We'll see Garnacho playing under Xavi, suddenly scoring volleys from 30 yards out, and United fans will be left watching Antony do stepovers into nowhere. We've seen this movie before. It's called Depe Di Maria, Lukaku, Pogba, the sequel. We know how it ends. Barcelona will probably post some dramatic announcement video like, "The new Messi has arrived," while United fans are sitting in the corner crying into their retro jerseys. The moment the Garnacho to Barcelona here we go tweet drops, expect United fans to go through all 5 stages of grief in 30 seconds. The Instagram comments under the farewell post will be a mix of "Best of luck, King," and "This club is finished, I'm supporting Wrexham now." Watch United fans suddenly go from "He's not that good" to "We just sold our best young player for peanuts overnight." The YouTube compilations will hit different. Garnacho's best moments at United, gone too soon edition. One thing is certain. If he leaves, within a week we'll see a tweet that says, "If we still had Garnacho, we'd be top of the league." So here's the big question. Do we keep Garnacho and actually develop him, or do we sell him now and brace for the inevitable, "We let him go too early" regret cycle? Let me know in the comments. 4. The bigger picture. Is Garnacho the problem or just a symptom? Here's the real question. Is Garnacho's finishing actually the issue, or is he just a convenient scapegoat for a club that's been spiraling since Sir Alex Ferguson retired? United is currently 15th in the table. 15th. This isn't about Garnacho missing a chance. It's about the entire squad playing like they just met each other 20 minutes before kickoff. Blaming Garnacho for United's struggles is like blaming one burnt fry for ruining your whole McDonald's meal. Bro, the whole thing was cooked in disaster oil. At this point, Manchester United's season is less of a football campaign and more of a Netflix drama, except the plot never improves, and every episode just brings new pain. Garnacho isn't the problem. He's just another character in Manchester United, the never-ending rebuild, now streaming on every football channel worldwide. The real issue? We've been rebuilding longer than some people's careers last. Even Bob the Builder is looking at this club like, "You guys still haven't finished?" This club spends more time putting out PR statements than actually fixing problems. One week it's, "We back the manager," the next week it's, "Garnacho's finishing is unacceptable." Priorities, people. This team plays like they get introduced to each other 5 minutes before every game. "Hi, I'm Bruno. You're Garnacho? Cool. Where do you play again?" United's midfield gets overrun so easily, you'd think they're offering express lanes to opposition attackers. If you're going to blame Garnacho for Manchester United's problems, at least acknowledge that Casemiro runs like he's wearing concrete boots and that the defense collapses faster than a budget airline's customer service. United under Amorim is a mystery. Are we pressing? Are we counter-attacking? Are we playing tiki-taka? No one knows. Not even the players. At this point, Amorim might as well just roll a dice before every game to decide the tactics. All right, lads, today we're going with long balls and hope for the best. Watching United play football is like watching a toddler trying to assemble IKEA furniture. The effort is there, but the end result? A complete mess. Garnacho is probably confused too. One day he's a left winger, the next day he's tracking back like a left back, and then some genius tells him to invert into midfield like he's prime Phil Foden. Whatever the game plan is, it needs serious rewiring because right now, it looks like a PowerPoint presentation with missing slides. Garnacho's struggles aren't unique. This club has been draining the life out of talented players for years. Jadon Sancho arrived as a generational winger and left looking like he forgot how to dribble. Antony went from Brazil's next big thing to guy who spins in circles and loses possession for fun. Even Rashford, who used to be clutch, is now being compared to a FIFA career mode region who lost all his stats in an update. At this point, we should start adding a disclaimer to all our signings. Warning: your talent may significantly decrease upon arrival at Manchester United. It's not just Garnacho, the whole team looks like they've been hit with a skill-draining spell. The only thing moving at high speed in this club is our downfall. So, is Garnacho really the problem? Or is he just another victim of a club that hasn't figured itself out since Sir Alex left? Drop your thoughts in the comments. One thing's for sure. If United actually fixes the bigger issues, Garnacho's finishing will probably take care of itself. But until then, we'll just keep arguing online. Like, subscribe, and let's all hope United stops being a full-time comedy show. See you next time.